In these problems, we're being asked to compare the decimals with either the less than, the greater than, or the equals. And the way to do this is to start with the highest place value that you have. In this one, the highest place value is the ones in both of them. If one of them had only ones and another one had tens, the one with the tens, of course, would be the higher thing. So 18 would be higher than 2. But in here, we've got a 2.41 and an 8.29. Well, if you're looking at the highest place value and they're not the same, you can ignore everything else. Just compare the 2 and the 8. Which one is less? Well, 2 is less than 8, so 2.41 is less than 8.29. So we're going to use less than here. All right. Now it gets a little trickier. So here we have 0.07. That is 7 hundredths. And here we have 0.1. So this is a case where we actually have a higher place value. There's a 0 in the ones on this one. There's a 0 in the tenths on this one, and a 7 in the hundredths. Here we have a 0 in the 1, but a 1 in the tenths. So 1 is more than the 0 in the tenths here. So this side is greater, this side is less, so we'll put a less than in that one too. Okay, and C might seem a little tricky at first. This says 3.1 and this says 3.10. What's the difference there? Well, there isn't actually a difference. The only reason someone wrote a 0 there probably was to say that their measurement was accurate to that degree, to the hundredths, whereas here, maybe the measurement's only accurate to the tenths, but it's really the same measurement. They're both 3.1 or 3.10. It's the same number. So in this case, we have an equal sign. That 0 doesn't really change the value. Okay, let's do one more set here. Now in this one we have 0.61 and 0.64. So in the ones place there's a 0, that's the same. In the tenths place there's 6's on both of them, that's the same. So we have to go down one more to the tenths place. Here we have a 1 and here a 4. 1 is less than 4. So 0.61 is less than 0.64. All right, so here we have a 7 in the ones place and a 7 in the ones place. So we go down one more place to the tenths. Here we have a 5, and here we have a 0. 5 is greater than 0. It doesn't matter that there's a 9 after that. Those are 9 hundredths. They're tiny compared to the tenths. So 5 is greater than 0, so we put a greater than sign there. And then we've got 0.8 and 0.80. And just like this one up here, that extra 0 on the end might be conveying something about the accuracy of this number, but really they're the same value. So any trailing zeros on decimals like that you can kind of ignore. So 0.8 equals 0.80. And that's a little bit of work with comparing decimal numbers.